with Halloween almost here, it's time for one more round of spreading fear.
Hello.
See you later, Chef. The game's 13 Dead End Drive, where you can get rich by accident. It's nighty-night for the hairdressers. Someone will inherit a fortune, but everyone's dying to bump you off. A little trick for the fortune teller. First out of 13 Dead End Drive, while their picture is above the mantel, wins. Lights out for the boyfriend. The fun's alive with 13 Dead End Drive.
You don't know me, but I know you.
So, Halloween is here.
I want to play a game.
Aunt Agatha just hit the Mega Millions. Everyone's out to get her fortune. Even the cat. So come on, let's turn off the lights. Set the mood. Well, it seems like we have an unexpected visitor here at 13 Dead End Drive, who I don't know, maybe he'll be popping in later on. So let's open up this Pandora's box and get acquainted with all of our guests. Now, the late, very late Aunt Agatha was the former Miss Tomato Pie, Louisiana, and heiress to a cat-litter fortune. After hitting the Mega Millions, she left all of her money to one lucky person who's her very favorite. Now, out of all of her servants and friends, who could it be? Smothers the butler? Or perhaps Dusty the maid. Maybe she dusted off more than a few bookshelves in her time. Charity, the beloved and trusted doctor? Or Lulu, her gossipy snicker of a best friend? Maybe it was Parker, her trusted chauffeur, who's always been sick of driving her around town. Or Clay, the tennis coach, who always thinks he's above everyone else. Perhaps Beauregard III, her boyfriend, of course. Or maybe Spritzy, the hairstylist, who thinks that Aunt Agatha's not with it anymore anyway. Pierre, the undercooked chef. Madame Astra, the fortune-teller, perhaps she sees a little money in her future. Hickory, the gardener, maybe he's not blowing smoke anymore. Or could it be Poopsie, Aunt Agatha's beloved cat? Well, now that we've gotten acquainted with all of our guests, let's get a little bit more better acquainted with 13 Dead End Drive and everything that's inside this little Pandora's box. And oh Lord, this seems like a frightful mess of God only knows what. There's more parts in here than I would have scared to believe, and it almost reminds me of like a Hero's Quest or Dungeons and Dragons type game with all this stuff that you have to put together. And what's this? We've got a little baggie of clips, and oh boy, this looks frightening, but frightening to how much time it's going to take to actually put this thing together. There's even an instruction manual just for putting together all of the different pieces and traps in the house, so this will probably take some time. But honestly, it's not that difficult. Just follow the instructions and you'll have it up and set up in 10 minutes or so. So, let's get all this other stuff out of the way with the cards and dice and characters and people, and we'll get back to them a little bit later. Now, this is the main set of the house here. This is the fireplace, and these are all of the other clips that you're going to need to put all of the different backdrops and dioramas together. So first off, let's put together the night, and it gives you instructions here, and the chandelier. Well, thankfully, the chandelier's already put together, even though the little tip seems to be broken off at the top and replaced, but that should work good enough. And here's the sketchy scaffolding that it'll be attached to that will allow it to drop on an unsuspecting house guest. Alright, now that we're done with the chandelier, let's move on to the night. This night. So first we take the small base, and we have a little piece of cardboard that's supposed to make up the marble and granite base, and all you do is just fold that up and tuck it into the bottom portion of the base. And then we just take the top part here, and as long as I have this facing the right direction, oh, there we go, I had that on backwards, so now let's just turn that around. And then we're just going to take the other top part of the base, which is what flips the knight off of his pedestal, and snap that into place there. And we'll take our little dark knight and place him on top for now. And moving on, now let's assemble the fireplace and the stairs. Now, the stairs are one of the easier things to assemble, because they're already practically assembled to begin with, and all you have to do is put the trapdoor on the top, and it's pretty much done. Just snap that into place, and it's ready to go to lure an unsuspecting guest down a quick trip that they'll never recover from. Now, the fireplace is a bit more complicated. There's about 5 or 6 different pieces to this. And we first want to take this little lever piece and snap that into place into the bottom of it. And this is what actually moves the flames, so that way the unsuspecting guest gets roasted and toasted, all cozied up by the fireplace. And what's a good fireplace without fire? So we have to put that in the middle there. And without burning ourselves, let's add the mantle. And this goes right around the base and snaps in, just like the base to the knight display. And then the top of the fireplace just snugly snaps into place onto the top. Sometimes these can be a bit tricky to line up right, but there we are. And the fireplace action is working great and ready to go. Alright, now let's assemble the bookcase. And just like the fireplace and everything else, it's pretty simple. All you do is fold up the little cardboard bookcase and slide it into its base. There we go, just like that, snaps into place. And then the top piece snaps on like so. And then there's a little ladder here that you put the bookcase down, and the ladder on top, and that's what allows it to be knocked off. And now let's get to the diorama part of the game board, so we'll just move these pieces out of the way and get the game board out of the box here. And now let's get this laid out, and we can start setting up the rest of the game board. Now, this is a little bit trickier and probably much more time-consuming. This is the main fireplace set that hangs above the back, and we're going to take the rest of the white clips, and all we're going to do here is we're going to attach them to each other. And first, the center one, we're going to flip this over and line up the notches on the bottom, and we'll take one white clip and clip it onto the bottom like so, and then another white clip, and we will attach it to the top like so. There we are. Now that that's all connected, there's 4 more clips that we're going to have to connect to the board, and these are going to be what actually hold the diorama pieces to the board so they're not falling all over the place and collapsing while you're trying to play the game. There we go, and they just snap right to the underside of the board like so. Very simple. And now that we've gotten those in place, there are still 2 more clips that we have to attach to the board, and these are for the knight and bookcase traps, so that way when you go to activate them, they don't go flying off the board. There we are. Once again, we just secure them into the base like so. And now we take the main mantelpiece and snug it into the back. There we are. And now we take the left piece here and take another white clip and clip that to the left side of the centerpiece. And now for the right piece that will hold up the chandelier, we'll also do the same, inserting that into the clip into the base of the game board, and then taking another white clip and attaching that to the centerpiece. Alright, and now to complete the main section, we're going to attach the fireplace by putting it underneath first and then into the center, like so. And then we take the main portrait holder and put that into the tabs above the fireplace. Alright, now we're going to attach the stairs, and we just have to lift up the display a little bit so the two tabs sit securely underneath of that. And that's all done. And now with the knight, we just snap the base into the clip at the bottom of the game board and then place the knight on his pedestal. Now the chandelier is a little more complicated. You need a rubber band also to complete this. You take the little bit of scaffolding and put it in its peg back there. And there's this little clip here that you take, and that goes behind it, and that will make sure that it secures itself to the wall and doesn't fall over. And there we go, and then we just center the chandelier on there, so that's ready to come down and surprise someone with a crashing delight. And now the bookcase, we do the same as with the knight, where we just line it up and make sure that it snaps securely into place, like so. And then we just take the ladder and put that on the top, and it's ready to go. Alright, now let's get our cast of characters assembled. We have all 12 characters here, and they each have their own little base, their little cardboard cutouts of all of the characters that you saw earlier, and you place them all around the main table as they're there to hear the reading of your Aunt Agatha's will. And once we're done assembling all the main characters, there's also one other character that gets his own pedestal, and he's larger than everyone else. And that would be the detective, as he's heard that there's some trouble brewing at the mansion and is there to investigate. Alright, now with everything set up, let's get the remainder of the game set up. And these are the portrait cards. These are how you know who you need to knock off and who is Aunt Agatha's favorite at the moment. We'll shuffle them all up randomly, and you put Aunt Agatha's card to the side. Without looking, you put that one face down, and put Aunt Agatha's card in front before you start the game. And now these are the character cards. It's where everyone gets dealt out a few cards evenly, and these will be the characters that you actually control. The trick with this game is that you can move any of the characters at any time that you want during the game, but the ones that you have are the ones that when your picture's on the wall, you want to escape. So whatever cards you get dealt, you want to hope that when your picture comes up, you can get out. And I have the fortune teller and Boopsie the cat. Perfect. Alright, let's start the game by removing Aunt Agatha's picture and seeing who the first favorite relative is, and it's Parker, the chauffeur. So let's see, I'm gonna roll here, and Parker is my main target to try to knock off first, as would be anyone else who's playing the game. And I'm going to go ahead and move the cat over here, so that way I can make an escape without being noticed, and then I'll move my other character over here. Alright. Now for the other person's turn. And let's see, what cards do they have? Pierre and Dusty. So now a big part of the game also is bluffing. You don't just want to move your character, you also want to move other people's characters and make them think that the cards that you're moving really aren't your characters to begin with. So when you move a certain character around the board, like the one everyone's trying to knock off, maybe they'll think that you're the one who has the card to begin with, and you're just trying to get out the front door so you can win the game, and maybe you're not really trying to knock off the person that has that card to begin with. So that's a really tricky aspect of the game, is trying to deceive all of the other players and make them believe that your players aren't really who everybody thinks they are. So that's a real big trick to it, so you can catch people by surprise. Otherwise, they'll be on to you and know that you're going to knock them off with one of the 5 traps. And Parker seems to be moving over into the living room where the chandelier is, so that might lead to some interesting antics in a little bit. Alright, time to roll again. Once again, try to move my cat off to the side here, so that way I can sneak to the door and move Parker right under the chandelier, and she's on a trap space. Let's see what comes up. Hopefully I can knock her off. And oh, perfect, it's the chandelier. Time to take a dive. Crash! That's the end of the chauffeur. So let's see who's next. Oh, it's the boyfriend. Alright, so he's next up on the chopping block. And I'll just move over here, so that way nobody notices my character, and hopefully doesn't try to knock off me instead. Because that's another thing with the game, and it seems that I've gotten the Night card. Bye-bye, boyfriend. Nighty-night for him, so let's see who's next. Oh, and up next on the menu is the chef, Pierre. But you can knock off opponents at any time that you want, really. You don't have to wait till they're up on the picture frame. And uh-oh, Pierre looks like he's going for a cookbook in the libraries. He's climbing up the ladder.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Now let's see what fate has in store for him. Live or die. Oh, it's the bookcase. Well, Pierre, I'm afraid to say your goose is cooked. Ah! Now, let's see who's next. Oh, the butler, Smothers. Well, you always know it's always the butler trying to get a hold of the fortune. He's getting dangerously close to that fireplace. Oh, well, he's safe for now. The detective must have heard what's going on and is creeping up to the front door. Let's roll again and see if we can get him this time. Ah, but Spritzy's getting close to those stairs. Maybe I'll knock her off instead. And the detective again, so she's safe for now, but the detective's getting awfully close in my business. And now the butler's right where I want him. He's right in front of the fireplace, getting his toes nice and warm, and ah, perfect, the right card. Time to warm up those tootsies once and for all, Smothers. Ha ha ha! You've been smothered by the fireplace. And now let's see who else is next.
Hurry up.
And it's Spritzy, the hairstylist. Who would have thought? Now let's see who's going to walk around here to the next trap. Ah, good. I'm going to hide in the corner so no one will notice me and try to knock me off. And there she goes, heading for the stairs. Let's see if she makes it out of here alive. Oh no, the stairs card. She's done for. That's it, just through that hallway. Ha ha ha! Have a nice trip, Spritzy. See you next fall. And let's see who the final card is. It's Boopsy, the cat. Well, I hope people haven't been paying attention. I've got to get out of here with those millions. I'll just take this secret passageway and go on the other side of the room so people won't think I'm heading for the door. Rolling again, and now the maid, she's trying to make a break for the door. I wonder what she's up to. Time to roll again. Let's see. Oh, he's trying to set me up for another trap. Gotta watch out here. Everybody seems to be going for the door. I wonder why. They're trying to block me to make sure that I can't get out. Well, I'll just have to sneak around them when they're not looking. Oh, I hope this works. Come on. Just need a 3. Oh, now she's trying to go around the other way to trick me. I'm never gonna make it out of here with that money. Alright, just need a 2. Ah, perfect. That's just what I needed. Got out of there with a fortune. And oh boy, what a mess here at 13 Dead End Drive. As you can see, it wasn't a happy stay at all at this address. Ha ha ha. Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.